There are days when the air feels different, when time itself seems to hold its breath. September 5th is one of those days. It is not ordinary, and it is not random. It is a threshold, a turning point where the universe calls you to choose between life and death, between awakening and drifting back into sleep. Throughout history, sacred days have marked moments of transformation. In the Shaolin temples, monks understood that destiny is not shaped by endless motion, but by recognizing the right moment to act and the right moment to stay still. September 5th carries this weight. It is a day to pause, to listen, and to align with the rhythm of the universe rather than rushing blindly forward. In this teaching, I will guide you through the deeper meaning of this day. You will learn why silence can protect your spirit, why restraint carries more power than action, and why your smallest choices on this day may echo for years to come. You will discover truths that are rarely spoken, the hidden balance between breath and destiny, the connection between inner mastery and outer protection, and the reason certain days feel charged with sacred energy. Stay with me until the end, because this knowledge is not meant to be half-heard. It is meant to be lived. What you carry from this teaching may determine whether September 5th becomes a day of loss or a day of awakening. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, where we bring ancient wisdom to guide your modern path. If you seek clarity, discipline, and strength for the days ahead, then subscribe and walk this journey with us. The path begins now. There is a time to strike, and a time to hold the fist still. Power without timing is wasted energy. A Shaolin warrior learns this from the very first day. Strength alone is not enough. Rhythm is the hidden force that turns effort into mastery. In training, a disciple may throw 100 punches with great force, but without rhythm, they scatter like leaves in the wind. Then comes the lesson of the breath. Inhale, steady the body. Exhale, release the strike. Suddenly, the punch lands with precision and depth. The body, the breath, and the moment have become one. Life moves in the same way. Choices made too soon, even if strong, collapse under their own weight. Choices made too late slip through your fingers. But when your decision aligns with the rhythm of the moment, the path opens with little resistance. This is what we call divine timing. Not luck, not chance, but harmony with the flow of the universe. September 5th is such a moment. To act without awareness is to miss it. To hesitate in fear is to let it pass. But to breathe, to sense, to step in rhythm with its energy, that is where success is born. The ancients watched the seasons closely. They planted seeds when the soil was ready, not when they felt impatient. They harvested when the fruit ripened, not when they felt hungry. This wisdom has not changed. The universe still moves with rhythm, and the one who listens, who waits for the right breath, finds that their actions strike true, not because they are the strongest, but because they are aligned. A narrow bridge is not crossed with speed, but with presence. Each step must be felt, each movement guided by awareness. To walk it blindly is to trust chance, and chance is a poor protector. Shaolin discipline begins with awareness of breath. Before a strike, before a movement, there is the pause, the inhalation that centers the spirit. In that stillness, the body knows where to step, when to move, how to respond. Without awareness, even the strongest warrior is vulnerable. With it, even the weakest finds balance. This is not only about battle, it is about living. The thoughts you allow, the emotions you feed, the words you speak, all of these are steps on the narrow bridge of life. When taken with awareness, they build safety and strength. When taken blindly, they create danger. On a day like September 5th, the bridge narrows further. The energy is sharper, the consequences heavier. To ignore it is to stumble where you cannot afford to fall. Yet awareness makes the path clear. A watchful mind sees the trap before the foot steps into it. A steady breath slows the racing heart. A calm spirit recognizes when to wait and when to move forward. The ancients carried this truth in their daily lives. Farmers rate the skies before planting. Warriors rate the silence before battle. Monks rate the stillness before prayer. Each action was guarded by awareness, for awareness itself was the shield. So the question is not whether the bridge is dangerous, it always is. The question is whether you will walk it blindfolded or with eyes open, breath steady, and spirit awake. Awareness is not just wisdom, it is protection. And protection is the first step toward survival and then toward mastery. Life and death are often seen as two ends of a single line. Yet the wise know they are also states of being, experienced long before the final breath. To live distracted, scattered, and restless is to walk in the shadow of death even while the body breathes. To live with calm, discipline, and inner clarity is to taste life in its fullness, no matter the years that remain. A distracted soul is like a candle left in the wind. The flame flickers, bends, and finally burns out before its time. Thoughts pulled in every direction, emotions stirred without control. This is a living death where energy is wasted and purpose forgotten. One may be alive in body, yet absent in spirit. But the disciplined soul is like a candle protected by stone walls. Its flame burns steady, lighting the path for others. In Shaolin practice, discipline is not punishment. It is the art of guarding the flame, rising at the same hour, breathing with intention, moving with awareness. These simple acts build a spirit that does not scatter. Such a soul lives fully, because it does not leak its energy into chaos. The ancients knew this truth well. They spoke of warriors who fell in battle with calm eyes and steady breath. Though their bodies perished, their spirits remained alive, strong, and undiminished. And they spoke also of rulers and common men alike, who, though surrounded by wealth, lived restless and hollow. That too was a kind of death. So the measure of life is not length but depth, not survival but presence. When the soul is calm, when it is disciplined and awake, each moment is life renewed. To live in this way is to defeat death long before it comes. Silence is often mistaken for emptiness, for nothingness. Yet in the Shaolin way, silence is not absence, it is strength. It is the gathering of energy, the protection of spirit, the discipline of the wise. Words, when spoken without measure, scatter energy like seeds thrown on stone, but silence guards the seed until the soil is ready. On sacred days, silence becomes even more vital. Energy is heightened, the air charged with meaning. To waste it on idle talk, on arguments, on restless noise, is to spill what the universe has placed into your hands. But when you hold silence, you keep the current intact. The energy that could have been lost begins to concentrate, to grow, to transform into power. Think of the monk in training. His teacher strikes, not with words, but with silence. Hours of standing still, holding postures, breathing deeply. The body cries out. The mind begs for distraction, yet silence teaches endurance. In the quiet, the disciple learns to hear his own heartbeat, the whisper of breath, the rhythm of life itself. From this, unshakable strength is born. The ancients often retreated into caves or mountains during times of significance. They did not go to escape the world, but to still their voices long enough to hear the voice beneath, the voice of heaven, of nature, of the soul. In silence, their awareness sharpened. They saw what others missed. They carried back wisdom not gained in noise but discovered in stillness. So when the day calls for reverence, hold your silence as a shield. It does not mean you are weak or uncertain. It means you are conserving power, shaping it, guarding it. Silence is not emptiness. It is fullness contained. It is strength waiting to be released at the right moment. Before training begins, a monk does not rush into movement. He sweeps the floor, sets the mats, and clears the hall. This act is not only for order, it is ritual. A clean space allows the body and mind to enter training without distraction, without disturbance. The outer order prepares the inner order. So it is with the heart. Before one can receive anything sacred, be it wisdom, wealth, or guidance, the inner space must be cleansed. Fear is like dust. It clings to every corner, clouding clarity. Greed is like clutter, filling the room with things that do not belong. Anger is like smoke, choking the air until nothing can breathe. When these remain, even divine guidance cannot enter. Release is the discipline. It does not happen in a single breath, but in steady practice. Fear dissolves when breath is slow and steady. Greed fades when gratitude is cultivated daily. Anger softens when silence is embraced instead of reaction. One by one, the weights are set down and the heart becomes light again. The ancients knew this truth. Before rituals, before prayers, they washed not only their bodies but their minds. They fasted, they purified, they withdrew into silence. These acts were not superstition, they were cleansing. For only a clear vessel can hold sacred water, only an empty cup can be filled. When the heart is clean, guidance is not distant, it is near, already whispering. But the whispers cannot be heard in a crowded, polluted chamber. A heart that has released what is heavy becomes open, and in that openness, the universe pours freely. Just as the monk clears his hall before the first strike, so too must the seeker clear the heart before the first blessing arrives. True mastery is not revealed in the strike that lands, but in the strike that is withheld. Force is easy to show, restraint requires depth. A child lashes out when provoked, but a master measures his response, choosing not by impulse but by wisdom. In Shaolin practice, the student learns this early. Muscles can lift, fists can break, but without restraint, strength becomes recklessness. The master teaches patience, holding the stance until the legs tremble, breathing instead of striking, waiting instead of reacting. In this waiting, power is shaped like water behind a dam. It grows stronger the longer it is contained. On days when energy is heightened, restraint becomes the true shield. To speak every thought is to scatter your spirit. To rush into every action is to drain your strength. To let every restless idea move unchecked is to weaken the mind. But to hold back, to keep words measured, actions deliberate, thoughts guided, this is to guard your inner power. The ancients taught this through silence and fasting. By restraining the tongue and the appetite, they discovered clarity. They knew that excess weakens while restraint sharpens. A warrior who saves his energy survives the long battle. A farmer who waits for the right season reaps the greater harvest. Restraint is not loss, it is preservation. Think of fire. Uncontrolled, it burns the house to ash. Contained, it warms, it cooks, it gives life. The same is true of your own force. On this day, discipline demands that you hold it close, that you carry it with care. Restraint is not weakness, it is hidden strength, a shield that keeps you steady when the moment tests your balance. To hold back is not to lose, it is to prepare for the strike that truly matters. The ancients understood something simple yet profound. The breath is the bridge. It ties the body to the spirit, the visible to the invisible. To lose the breath is to lose balance. To master it is to master oneself. On days when energy swells, when the air feels charged, and the heart races without reason, it is easy to slip into panic or distraction. The mind leaps forward, the body follows in haste, and clarity is lost. But the one who returns to breath finds the anchor. A slow inhale draws the spirit back into the body. A steady exhale releases fear, loosening the grip of restlessness. Shaolin training begins here. Before movement, before strike, before stillness, the lesson is breath. The disciple learns to walk with it, to strike with it, to rest with it. In combat, shallow breath means quick defeat. In meditation, restless breath means scattered thought. But the one who holds breath with awareness cannot be easily moved. The ancients carried this truth into their daily lives. Warriors calmed themselves before battle by breathing deep into the belly. Farmers paced their work with steady rhythm, never rushing, never tiring. Sages sought visions by slowing the breath until it was as quiet as still water. All knew that breath was not merely survival, it was the doorway to mastery. When energy rises, distractions multiply. The world feels louder, sharper, more demanding. In such times, the one who breathes with intention stands unshaken. For the breath does not only fill the lungs, it clears the mind, steadies the heart, and connects the spirit to the present. It is the oldest practice, yet the most powerful, and in it lies the secret to be anchored even when the storm surrounds you. Some days carry the weight of many. September 5th is such a day. It is like a magnifying glass, where even the smallest movement becomes larger, more lasting. A choice that seems minor now may ripple for years, shaping paths unseen. This is why haste is dangerous, and why clarity must be your guide. Shaolin wisdom teaches that a single step, if taken wrongly at the start of a journey, can lead far from the intended destination. In training, a misaligned stance may seem small, but with each repetition, the error grows. By the 100th strike, the body is twisted, the power weakened, correction must happen early, with awareness, before the mistake hardens into habit. Life works the same. On days of heightened energy, decisions carry greater force. A word spoken in anger can fracture trust for a lifetime. A promise made without thought can chain you to regret. Yet a step taken with clarity, a word spoken with care, can open doors that remain for decades. The ancients honored such days with stillness. They did not rush into decisions. No matter the urgency, they fasted, they prayed, they observed the signs. They knew that to act without clarity was to plant seeds in barren soil, but to wait until vision was clear ensured a harvest worth reaping. So, on this day, do not hurry. Let the breath steady, let the mind settle, wait until your thoughts are like calm water, where reflection is sharp and true. Then, and only then, step forward. The path shaped in clarity today will echo as strength tomorrow, and what you choose with awareness now may become the foundation on which your future rests. To be mindful is to remain awake. Eyes may be open, yet the spirit can still be asleep, moving through life without seeing. Mindfulness is the art of waking fully, of noticing each step, each breath, each thought as it arises. It is the light that reveals where the traps lie hidden. On days like September 5th, this wakefulness is tested. The air itself feels charged and distractions arrive easily. Restless thoughts, sudden emotions, outside noise. The one who moves unconsciously will stumble, pulled into anger, fear, or haste. But the one who remains present sees the trap before the foot is placed, and so avoids it. Shaolin practice has always guarded this principle. A monk in training must walk with eyes open, even in silence. He learns to drink tea mindfully, to sweep the floor with full attention, to breathe as though each breath is sacred. These simple acts sharpen awareness, so that when life presents a true challenge, his spirit does not falter. The ancients also spoke of this. Farmers read the wind and soil before planting. Warriors read the silence before battle. Sages read the movement of their own hearts before speaking. All of this was mindfulness, a refusal to sleepwalk through life, a choice to be fully alive in each moment. This day asks the same of you. Will you move in presence or in distraction? To be present is not complicated. It is to notice your breath before you act, to hear the weight of your words before you speak, to see the path beneath your feet before you step. In this way, mindfulness becomes more than awareness. It becomes protection, guidance, and the quiet proof that you are truly awake. The true lesson is clear. What matters most is not the noise outside, but the state of your heart within. A restless spirit can be shaken by every shadow, but a disciplined and grateful heart cannot be moved. Wealth of the spirit is the foundation upon which all other blessings rest. So as this day unfolds, do not rush, do not scatter your energy. Walk with presence, hold to gratitude. Let faith steady your steps. These are not small acts. They are the treasures that carry you through every trial, the riches that cannot be stolen. Take this teaching with you beyond today. Let each breath remind you of your center. Let each choice reflect clarity rather than haste. In this way, you will not only pass through this moment safely, you will rise stronger, calmer, and more alive. If these words have spoken to your spirit, I welcome you to join us again. Like this message, share it with those who walk beside you, and subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire, where ancient wisdom and inner mastery light the path forward. May your heart remain rich, and may peace guide you always.